Get ready everyone, a new Karate Kid movie was just confirmed by Sony and we're all patiently waiting to see it. After the huge success of the original Karate Kid movies, followed by the reboot series Cobra Kai, which recently concluded its 5th season, the world is dying to see what's next for this universe, but it may not be what you expect.
This is what we're up against. This is how everyone sees him, as some kind of philanthropist out to save the kids of the valley. Terry Silver.
Before we dive any deeper into the upcoming Karate Kid film, we'd like to take you back to where it all began. There isn't a person in this world that hasn't heard about the Karate Kid movie. They've grown into an iconic franchise that began when the first movie was released in 1984. This was the year when the original franchise kicked off. In the first movie, we were introduced to Daniel LaRusso, played by Ralph Macchio, who was relentlessly bullied by his classmate Johnny Lawrence, played by William Zabka. To be able to defend himself, Daniel turns to karate master Mr. Miyagi, played by the late Pat Morita, whose unconventional methods helped Daniel to gain a fighting chance against Johnny and the rest of Cobra Kai. Following the success of the first movie, we got to see 2 direct sequels of Karate Kid, one where Daniel and Mr. Miyagi heads to Okinawa and they reunite once again for Karate Kid 3. The third movie was released in 1989, which concluded this trilogy. However, in 1994, another film appeared titled The Next Karate Kid, in which we saw Mr. Miyagi return, but this time around he had a new student named Julie, played by Hilary Swank, under his wing. After all of these movies were released, they all became widely recognizable all across the world, which further became an inspiration for yet another movie that came out in 2010. The 2010 movie with the same name followed the same storyline as the original 1984 movie, but this time around we had Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith as the leading characters. Although it was the same story, this movie did manage to bring its own set of differences. It was set in China, and Smith's character learns Kung Fu instead of karate.
Against each other, with each other, it's hard to keep track.
Years after the release of Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith's movie in 2010, the Karate Kid saga has been rejuvenated thanks to Cobra Kai. This reboot series first premiered in 2018 and began as a YouTube original. The series managed to bring back both Macchio and Zabka to reprise their roles from the 1984 movie, with a much larger focus on Johnny. When the show first aired, we were introduced to Johnny years after his days in Cobra Kai when he had just lost his job. When he meets Miguel, Johnny realizes he needs to reopen Cobra Kai, bringing back all the nostalgia for everyone that has been a huge fan of the original films. By 2019, the series has switched to YouTube Premium, and finally in 2021, it made the jump to Netflix for its 3rd season. As soon as the series was available on Netflix, it gained huge success that has made the series one of their most watched shows. Over the years, the show received 5 seasons, with the 6th one on its way. It's set 34 years after the first Karate Kid movie, following the rivalry between Daniel and Johnny, with many young stars that have only contributed to smashing that like button if you haven't done so already. But no, they've contributed to making this show a huge hit. The show brought a mix of legacy characters along with newcomers to the story, which only made it rise to the top way quicker. Because of this, one can certainly believe that the success of Cobra Kai played a huge role in Sony bringing the Karate Kid back to theaters with a new film.
Training, the tournaments, the rivalries.
Sony Pictures have just recently confirmed that a new Karate Kid is in the works. The studio went on to officially confirm the upcoming film by setting a release date for it on June 7, 2024. So far, this is all that has been revealed by Sony concerning this movie. They've been quite secretive about the entire project. We've yet to figure out who's going to be the director of it and what the official title will be. Since this confirmation, Macchio has been asked whether he will star in it or not. Since it has been said that this upcoming movie will be the return of the original Karate Kid, Macchio did respond by saying that after Sony broke the news about it, he hasn't been contacted about getting involved in the project. However, he did say that he would be honored to go back and explore a whole new version of the original Karate Kid. For a while, many fans were wondering if this movie would follow the events that we have seen in Cobra Kai. However, it isn't supposed to be a sequel to the series or the original movies. A day after the announcement was made, Cobra Kai director John Hurwitz took Twitter to explain that he isn't going to be involved in the new movie, saying, "The guys and I would love to make Karate Kid and Cobra Kai movies, hope to someday. But this one isn't from us or focused on the Cobra Kai cast. Don't know much about it, but wish it well." Hurwitz built and defined the Miyagi-verse with Cobra Kai, but if this isn't from them, it means that this new film is a total wild card that doesn't appear to have a connection with Cobra Kai. We get that Cobra Kai is a reboot of the original movie, but this movie is set to bring back the original movie. so it wouldn't come as a shock not to have anything to do with the hit series.
Silver's dividing and conquering.
If this continues, all that we have fought for will not even be memory.
I need you to see.
So let me ask you, do you have one more fight left in you?
Although we have a release date for 2024, we've yet to see what else this movie will unfold. Many have been wondering about who will star in it and what it will look like, and we're sad to say that not much has been revealed about it. Since it was confirmed that a new movie is coming, many wondered if this movie could be a sequel to the 2010 Karate Kid movie. This film was a huge success at the box office, and given that it had stars such as Jackie Chan in it, many believe that eventually a sequel will follow. However, it has been over a decade since the movie was released, and we haven't heard any news about it. So when Sony announced a new movie, many fans went on to smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, but no, in all seriousness, they went on to describe how it could be a sequel to the 2010 film. Since both Macchio and Zabka said they aren't included in the project and Cobra Kai director also revealed he won't be working on the project, there are only two options left. Either this film will truly be a sequel to the 2010 movie, or it will be a completely new concept unlike we've ever seen before. Either way, it will be a new way to revive the legendary movie. So far, neither Chan nor Smith have confirmed that they'll be returning to reprise their roles. The 2010 film saw Will Smith as the producer, and he's now also the executive producer for Cobra Kai. He also listed as the producer of The Karate Kid 2 on IMDb, which is listed as announced. All of this points towards the direction of the 2010 Karate Kid sequel, but we have yet to see it.
Only way to stop them is to face them. I will teach you real kung fu.
Even though many signs are pointing toward a sequel, we can't be quick to presume as such things can change in a day. Since there's no cast confirmation for this movie, there's also not a single synopsis of what the movie could be about. If you check IMDb and see that the movie, which has Will Smith listed as a producer, you can see a synopsis that reads, after the sudden death of Dre's old kung fu instructor, Mr. Han, he must learn the dark stepstones of how to become a good instructor and teach his old fellow enemies a little more than respect. The issue with this is that when Smith played Dre in the film he was 12 years old, today he's 24 and he can no longer play a kid. Sure, the story could take place years after the events of the movie, but we can't help but wonder if this could be a completely new story with a completely new cast. So far, all we can do is speculate about it, since everything is kept under tight wraps, but as it's revealed, we'll be sure to come back and give you all the details. You'll love this video next.